Welcome back to Scenes from the Screen, where we talk about all types of films and TV. Obscure, forgotten, prestigious, rotten, from must-see to, are you kidding me? Big screen and small, we cover it all. Who knows? You might discover a new gem or be reintroduced to an old favorite. My name is Sean, and I'll be your host. Spider-Man Brand New Day finds Peter Parker living a life of basic solitude, keeping tabs on Ned and MJ via social media posts detailing their time at MIT and subsequent move back to New York. Peter sits in a dingy old apartment day after day, boosting his technical capabilities to fight crime. As a result, his alter ego Spider-Man seems to be thriving, bringing in both common thugs and heavy-hitting villains like Scorpion, Tombstone, and Tarantula, while maintaining a friendly, yet distant rapport with Police Captain Jean DeWolf and even the Punisher. A new threat arises when an unknown nemesis with the ability to possess people's bodies draws Spider-Man into an inevitable reunion with his former best friend and girlfriend. The film was directed by Destin Daniel Cretton, who directed Shang-Chi and co-created Wonder Man. The sequel once again stars Tom Holland as Spider-Man, Zendaya as MJ, and Jacob Batalon as Ned. Newcomers include Liza Colon-Zayas as DeWolf and Tremel Tillman as Bill Metzger from the Department of Damage Control. The rest of the cast is rounded out by old Marvel vets like John Barenthal, Florence Pugh, and Mark Ruffalo. As promised at the end of our last show, Holly is once again joining us. Hello, Holly.
Hello, Sean.
Good to have you back.
Always love to be here.
And we also have a returning vet from the Scenes from the Screen universe as Jason, who joined me from Mike and Nick and Alice way back in episode 2, is also here. Hello, Jason, and welcome back.
Hello, everyone.
Well, and thank you for coming back.
My pleasure.
Well, I appreciate it. Finally, in keeping it in the family is Lance, son of Jason, who is joining us for the very first, but hopefully not the last time. Welcome, Lance.
Hi, pleasure to be here.
And it's good to have you. All right, we're going to go around first to get everyone's somewhat brief general impression before launching into a larger discussion about various aspects of the film, which includes some questions I have for the group. Keep in mind that this conversation will be heavy on spoilers, so if you haven't seen it, please download, save for later, and enjoy one of our other phenomenal prior episodes in the meantime. All right, so let's start. Ladies first. Holly, just brief, what did you think of Spider-Man Brand New Day?
It was really good. I love Tom Holland. He can do no wrong. It was too long. Other than that, it was a good movie. It was worth going to the theater to see. The action was awesome.
And how about next we'll go to Jason.
For some reason, I was not excited about this movie. Maybe I'm just getting superhero malaise, but I will tell you, after seeing it, I was very happy with it. I thought it was a great movie.
And finally, Lance.
Yeah, I thought it was really good going in. I wasn't totally sure what to expect after the John Watts trilogy. Somewhat disappointed me overall. I was excited, but skeptical. But overall, I think it did a pretty good job.
I actually thought I'm kind of in the same thought as Holly and you, Jason. Your first thought. This was my least favorite Spider-Man film of all of them, and I was really excited about it because, and I'll tell you why, it wasn't a full Spider-Man movie.
Exactly.
That really upset me.
It wasn't Spider-Man.
I felt it was largely a setup for the X-Men.
Mm-hmm. That's all it was. It was just a
That's
setup.
pretty accurate.
Yeah.
And for the new Avengers.
Well, absolutely. And the fact that, I mean, it's Spider-Man's story. So why throw in all these people? At the very beginning, and I was really invested because they had street-level villains, even like Tarantula, Scorpion, that was cool. And then they kind of go that a separate way with, and again, we talked about spoilers, but
Spoiler.
I honestly, I was guessing. It kept me guessing for a while who it was. And did anybody guess somebody else?
I had no idea who it was going to be. But I don't know all the Spider-Man villains, which I should.
Right.
Because I was a comic, not reader like the dorks were, but I watched the Spider-Man on Electric Company. So I know Scorpion, but I did not know. I'm thinking, who the hell is this going to be? And when it showed you who it was, although I love that actress and I like that character, I didn't want that character in this movie.
I agree. I don't know what you guys thought about the revelation that it was Jean Grey.
I didn't know who it was. I had no idea. And then when they showed her name, I turned and looked at him like, whoa. Like I didn't see that coming.
Right.
Not at all.
I thought at first because they introduced, which I thought was cool, Jean DeWolf. Like that part of the movie and Spider-Man and his interaction with Ned and MJ and DeWolf, that was great. I mean, that's what the Spider-Man movie should have been about.
Yes.
Yep.
And when I thought, oh, Jean DeWolf, and I don't know how many of you guys know this going back to a long time ago, but I was like, oh, well, a Sin Eater storyline, which might be cool. I don't remember the Sin Eater having those powers, but Moreland, as I recall from like the early aughts, maybe would have had that ability. I thought maybe it's Moreland. And I had to look up the name after the movie. That name did not come to me, but the Sin Eater did. Of course, it was none of that. It was just a big old setup for a Stranger Things type of bullshit with Gene. I mean, that again, I was actually getting angry at the film at that point. Anything without that and overloading it with, you got to have the Hulk in it, you got to have Punisher in it, you got to have I don't care. I just want to see a Spider-Man movie,
That's why I said to my mom, I said there was way too many extraneous people from other movies. Like but all of those characters and all the actors that played them, I really loved. I just thought there was too many in one movie. Like Florence Pugh, I thought that was appropriate because that's what Black Widow does. So I thought she was awesome in it. We didn't need, I think the worst addition was Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk. That was a waste of time. And I love Mark Ruffalo, but I hated that.
And I can see why they did that in a way, but it's, I mean, we didn't need it. Right. But you didn't need the quote unquote villain in that movie either, other than to introduce her which that should have been done in another film, maybe like Doomsday or Secret Wars.
Who Jean Grey is. We don't need.
Well, I mean, introduction into this new universe.
Yeah, I think introducing her in Doomsday would have made way more sense because they're introducing a lot of the X-Men into that movie, into this universe, and I think that would have been a much more natural introduction for a character like that, as opposed to just throwing her ass backwards into a Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, she felt like really shoehorned into that film, and I don't think that was anybody's fault. And here's where I'm going to go. You said Marvel, like not Marvel, but superhero malaise. At this point, the way it's going, I'm not really invested in anything Marvel anymore. I'm just really not, because and this is really the turning point. Like they kind of lost their way and it kept up with them for a while after the whole Thanos thing was done, which I liked some of their shows. Like Man Thing, Moon Knight was great. Vision, Scarlet Witch, but they're really starting to, I think, lose people in a way.
Yeah.
So
well, I mean,
go ahead.
This was like Captain America: Civil War. It's a Captain America movie in title only. Otherwise, it was an Avengers-like movie, which is like, and I think that's what one superhero doesn't seem to be enough for the studios anymore. They feel like they got to throw the kitchen sink at you to get your attention and keep it, which is unfortunate because, to your point, it detracts from the actual character.
Right. Which the first three were. They were largely, I mean, yeah, you had appearances by other, but it wasn't as, well, we're going to jam everybody in every scene. And yeah, that was just kind of annoying. Yeah, like I said, if it focused on the dynamic between him, MJ, and Ned, that was definitely necessary to tell that story. But I think if they would have either followed through on just him trying to rebuild his life with his friends in a different way, or just moving on. I thought maybe that girl who he met in the elevator was Gwen Stacy. I'm like, okay, maybe they are going to go that way. Nope. They decided not even to bother with that.
No, so. I will not have that.
You will not?
I will not have that. No, I thought the love story aspect of it was awesome. And I thought Tom Holland played that very well. Like his loss of his true love. And he was sad and he can do that. And he did it very well. I liked that aspect of it. And like you said, the old fashioned, I don't know the word, for the old superhero villains, I really liked. I liked the Wolf. I thought her character was amazing and that made sense in it. I just think they went too far. I think they should have only had Black Widow and nobody else. Maybe the Punisher, because John Barenthal was phenomenal in this. And we didn't watch the Punisher TV show, but I loved his character. I thought it was really funny.
Yes.
And he made it.
It's very good for that role.
Yeah, it really fit. So that was okay.
But they did change it here to make it more wacky and comic.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes. Which I did not care for as much.
Yeah.
I like to see it, but it doesn't fit the Marvel universe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, and especially when you do it just for this movie, maybe.
Right.
I don't know. That just seems like, I did like if everybody else caught them, the homages to some of the old covers. Amazing Fantasy 15 and the Tarantula one. Yes. Yeah, that was really cool. I think it was well directed.
Mm-hmm.
But I did prefer maybe the original director, maybe again the writers for the first three films, I think got me more because it was more for me character. It focused on them. So like when they went to talk about Jean Grey for I don't know how many minutes, I'm like, did Spider-Man leave the film? Like, what is going on here? Like why do we need to see this?
Right. A lot of expose that didn't need to be.
I agree.
In that movie.
Yeah. Right. They could have had her be the villain, not villain, whatever, and then not really delved into her story.
Mm-hmm.
And it went back into her story, like you said, in Doomsday.
Right.
I'm excited to see Doomsday. I didn't realize Thor was in it. So sorry, I'm there. And Anthony Mackie.
Yeah.
What else do you need?
Yeah, Pedro.
Pedro's in it. It's like a woman's best movie ever going to be that one.
Yeah, I mean, there are hardly any women in it, I guess, but I mean, it's so.
Yeah,
I
the
mean,
good-looking women are dead,
I guess for a guy, they're just appealing to the comic book characters, which,
Yeah.
you know,
which works.
it does, yeah. But like I said, I think it is getting to be a little bit of superhero overload.
I think too they blew their wad with Thanos. I think they had that kind of world-ending, planet-ending character way too soon if they wanted to keep having these things. Because, like the Florence Pugh character says, Black Widow says, you're small potatoes, and that really once you have that huge thing, you go back to getting the bank robbers. Like, I think Spider-Man, if it would have had not the other characters, that could have been fine. And why didn't anybody help him?
But nobody ever does in
Yeah.
these
Yeah,
individual
where is
movies.
Well, if you're gonna have all these superheroes be all friends now, how come no one came to help him? The poor kid.
Right.
Like he's crying, his eyes are turning black. Ain't nobody coming.
And that's the issue with this, is that you introduce him into this larger universe with all these other already pre-existing characters, but at the same time you want to have that friendly neighborhood Spider-Man story. So it's that crux of, well, you want him to have that friendly neighborhood story, but at the same time we know these other characters exist and he needs help, so they can help him. So
Right.
It's just
Right, like he did get a little help in each of his earlier films, but it
Yeah.
wasn't overwhelming
Right.
where it wasn't his major threat. I mean, they were realistic threats in a way within the comic book universe. But this I thought was, again, really not for this film. So let me ask you guys a question, and these are some of the things that came to mind. Unless anybody else has anything right now that you want to add.
Oh, fire away.
If something comes up, please let me know.
Yep.
All right. So here's one question: why is a native New Yorker getting Little Caesars delivered?
Oh my God! Yeah, we really do need to talk about
I
that.
did not
I
see
know
that.
it was product placement.
It was.
but you're absolutely right. No
Like-
New Yorkers getting Little Caesars. Period.
And the only reason I thought that he would do that is because, and maybe it's a follow-up question, is he saving money? Where's he getting the funds to build all this
I was
high tech?
thinking
And he
that.
kept adding to it.
Yes.
So a good point. Yeah,
Right. I'm like, where's this money coming from?
He
Right.
got money from Stark.
he had to have left him money in the will
Yeah.
that was never mentioned.
I always assumed
I mean, it
Tony
was never
Stark.
mentioned,
banked
but
But there's no
had to
Peter
be.
Parker. So who's he leaving it to?
That's
Is he
actually a
leaving it
good
to
point.
Spider-Man?
Yeah.
And how's Spider-Man cashing these
Yeah, does he
checks?
have
I don't like
Social
who's
Security
drawing on
number?
it. Does he have an ATM with just a spider figure on
Well,
it?
there is still a Peter Parker. Everyone just forgot about him. They never said he never existed. They said people won't remember you.
Right, but
That's
still,
different.
there's no. But they don't really explore that at all.
No.
It's just like, I mean, how is Peter Parker getting all these jobs? How's he making this money?
How's he doing his taxes?
Right. And how, like, we don't have any transcripts for high school. Where did you
doesn't
go to
have
high school? And people forgot about him.
Right.
And like, how did he? That's what I don't understand. Like, if they would have just said, I think that it should have been in Doctor Strange where they forget you're Spider-Man. They don't forget about Peter Parker.
Well, no, they had to forget, like MJ and Ned had to forget about Peter Parker because being around Peter Parker made their life in danger.
Right. But if you just said, hey, you forget that he's Spider-Man, then everybody forgets he's Spider-Man. Oh, he's just Peter Parker. Because that stuff still happened where he showed up in all those films to save them. So then was Peter Parker there? Like, how would they just forget Peter Parker? I mean, I just don't.
They don't explain it very well.
No. And I mean, I guess a lot of it is just left up to, oh, hey, it's comic books. But it just doesn't make any sense in this film.
Right,
Because,
yeah.
again, where is he getting all this money?
Yes.
Yeah.
Didn't the parts where Jean Grey moved from one person to another, what movie did that remind you of?
Fallen.
Immediately.
Falling,
Yeah.
yes, that's what I was thinking of
Yep.
too.
Yeah. Which is a great movie, but
And
it
for
didn't really
Denzel
need
Washington to pop up.
Yeah.
play a
Yeah.
part in this. Yeah, that would have been great if he made a cameo. If it just went through him and then John Goodman was standing there. And,
I do
and
like that.
here's another one too. And again, I know it wasn't visually shown in any of the earlier movies, and I guess he was bitten by the spider. But again, how all of a sudden does it seem natural? This organic fluid is also coming out of him. That just seemed really out of
No.
the blue for this movie.
So that was one of the issues I have with this movie. Is he mutating? Is he going to turn into like some fly, like the human fly type creature, where he's going to be half spider and like have these big googly eyes and start growing fur on his arms and stuff? Like, where's this headed?
Right, and that did happen, I think, at one point in the comics. For a brief time.
Yeah.
Right, but yeah, I really didn't care for that.
Because no, it explained it. The hormones. But that's why it
They did
happened.
explain it, but it almost
Yeah.
felt like a plot device a little bit.
It was, but at the
Yes.
same time, he was so alone and so only in his own mind. So his hormones increased. But now that he has other people around him and he's opening up to Angel's wife, then he's going to have a better life and his hormones won't be crazy and he won't be turning into a spider.
And we call her, I don't know if you know that reference, Angel's wife.
Mm.
So the woman that plays Jean D. Wolfe
Who's
is
also in The
married
Bear.
I
to,
knew that. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
in
where
The
I knew her
Bear.
from.
she's married to the guy, Batista from Dexter.
Okay.
and his name was Angel, but they all called him Angel. So every time we see her, every name is Angel or Angel's wife.
On
Makes
housewife.
sense.
Because
On
they-
how and on housewife.
Right.
Makes sense.
Let's
Good
see.
news for everybody.
Okay, here's another big one.
All right.
Where's J. Jonah Jameson in this movie?
That's such a good point.
Mm-hmm.
They made such a big deal of bringing him in the last one. And granted, he wasn't in that one much, but he was at least a presence of it enough. And in this one, it's like he never existed. They never even mentioned him.
No, and the fact is, he would still be pestering Spider-Man. So that was baffling to me. You know, J. Jonah Jameson was
J.K. Simmons.
J.K.
Yes.
Simmons.
Okay. All right. I had to think of the actor. Yes. I never thought of where he was.
Yeah, that bothered me.
I
So I
miss
thought-
him
you'd
now.
think like at least a minor reference in that movie, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I'd say like it didn't have to be a major part of it, but please. Did anybody think the little boy in the crowd at the end was Miles Morales?
Ooh,
Oh,
you know what?
Can you explain to the non-dorky people who Miles Morales is? Because I don't know what you're saying.
Well, he was the Ultimate Spider-Man. So in the Ultimate Spider-Man universe, Miles Morales did become Spider-Man. He is pretty popular in terms of like that whole the Marvel comics.
So he's not Spider-Man's not always Peter Parker.
No.
See, I don't like that crap that his comics do. You can't change the superhero
Well-
down to the people.
Well, they didn't. They had the alternate universe.
Would
So
you read Green Lantern?
Now, see, I'm not doing that. That's
Right.
ridiculous.
yeah, there are about 1 million Green Lanterns. So when do you see the show that's coming on?
Maybe I won't then.
Maybe you won't. There's at least 3 Green Lanterns in this one. Two are headlining.
I
It.
don't mind Black Widow because they made Black Widows. That was what the Russian school thing
Right.
did. So I don't mind that she's a Black Widow and that's her name too. That's it. That's really the only way you could do that.
No, because there are different worlds with different Peter Parkers.
No,
yep, the multiverse screws everything up.
it's just to make more money. And,
Oh yeah,
you know,
And they are going to kind of put it back in. But, you know, that's happened before with DC when back in the 80s, because they had for years and years the multiverse. And I thought it was cool. They handled it well. There's so much, I guess, continuity was poor, and who gives a shit?
how are you going to have
Tell a good story.
continuity with that then? You can't.
That's the thing, too. Yeah, right. So when they brought all the
Well,
Earths
but-
together, then it was good. But then you couldn't have continuity because, well, there wasn't, you know, some of these characters, they didn't exist, but now they still do. How are you going to put them in? So I don't know what they're going to do with all this, but you know, they have to find a way, I guess. But it's not a very clear path as I see that they have.
Is Spider-Man in Doomsday? Does anyone know? Because I didn't see him in the
At the
preview.
very end of the credits, it said Spider-Man will return. It didn't say in Avengers Doomsday, it just said will return.
You said, what do you think that's going to be? You said it was something else.
I had heard where they said because this will show incursions on different Earths, that may not necessarily mean it is Tom Holland's Spider-Man. Because it's that things track Spider-Man, not necessarily
Of course.
his Spider-Man.
right.
So the incursions, when they destroy the different Earths, it could be Andrew Garfield, it could be Tobey Maguire,
Well, it ain't them.
it could be Miles Morales, and that's how he gets introduced to the MCU. So it's possible with anything. But that's one theory I've read.
I don't know that.
And speaking of it, I'm glad you brought that up at the end of the movie. So that tracker was created by someone who went to MIT. And it looked like it was like a 16-bit from fucking 1985. I'm like,
Game Boy game.
yeah, I'm like, it looks stupid.
Right.
I mean, it really did to me.
That was an homage to the comics.
I don't know how, because I mean, the theme was the homage to the old Spider-Man,
TV show.
the comic or the cartoon series,
Right. From
which is kind of cool. Yeah. But yeah, that's what I didn't understand. I'm like, why did that look so poor? You know?
I mean, yeah, Ned made it.
Yeah, but I mean, he's graduated MIT. Did he? I mean, did he
Yes.
really? Do we know for sure? Or is he just fucking around on TikTok saying it?
Yeah, MJ was talking about, I got this job and everything. And Ned never once mentions anything about that. It is possible he's just coasting at this point.
Yep. Who knows? He's just living with MJ.
Right. But I mean, how are they making money at this point?
Yeah,
He's turning
sure.
down jobs.
That's also
How are these people living in New York without, you can't live in any other city. How are they living in New York, for God's sake?
No,
Yeah,
that
she
proof
turned
of
down the
income.
job.
Yeah, she did.
They
did.
have that nice apartment in Brooklyn.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Brooklyn's
that was
cheap.
$3,000 a month.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the final thing too, and this doesn't really have anything to do with the movie per se. I've never had an experience like that walking out of a film.
Oh, yeah.
It was definitely quiet. It was like a funeral.
It was very quiet.
Why?
Interesting. I didn't think about that.
Nobody was
Yeah,
talking.
even
I mean,
my
I know I
mom was
can't
like-
hear well, but I'm like,
Right.
what? There's like, you can hear a pin drop.
Yeah.
Like I made a joke to her because we were
Right.
coming down the stairs and like, I feel like just dropping my stuff. Like, hey, can you guys throw this away? You know? And I was like, I don't want anybody to hear me because this is going to, and nobody's talking.
Yeah. Nobody
It was.
Nobody had any conversation. I've never,
Great point.
ever seen that before.
Especially out of an action film.
Right. And I didn't expect everyone to stand up and cheer and everything because there's no reason to in that film. But doesn't that seem weird to you that there's like, is it maybe we're losing a sense of, I don't know, society? Like, because I mean, everyone used to talk about movies. Oh, hey, that's cool. Like, was everyone doing a podcast maybe because they didn't want to talk about it? I don't know.
Yeah.
I think though it felt like almost walking out of Schindler's List. Like you would expect everyone to be quiet after such a film like that, but this I expected more talking, and I knew I couldn't talk because you won't let me. But other than that, like as soon as I found people to talk to.
You could talk to other people. I wanted to wait till this to talk to you because I truly wanted to see what like people thought about it, and I figured I'd be in the minority on this one. I don't know why, but I would. I was just severely disappointed with this film.
I liked them. I thought the movie overall as a movie was really good. I thought the
I think
action
about
was good.
40 to
the acting was
50% of
good.
it was good.
I thought I loved all of it. I think Tom Holland is the perfect Peter Parker.
I agree.
He's cute. He's boy next door sweet. He's just the perfect Peter Parker. So I love the three of them in the movie and all the extraneous characters. Although I didn't think they were needed. I thought they were all really well done. I just don't think they were necessary, except a wolf. I like that.
I think a contributing factor to the silence might have been there's only one stinger. It was at the very end of the credits. You had to sit through the entire roll of credits to get there. And then it stunk as a stinger. Like, I was like, yeah, that's it. So I think everybody sat there like, that's it. And then they got up out of almost anger, like, I'm leaving.
Right.
Yeah, that's the best end scene credit. Yeah.
I thought I was expecting a lot more. And then it just stayed dark.
Theater
Didn't like the music used to come on or something, like at least like a music or whatever. I mean, nothing. It was just literally dead silence.
I told him as we're walking out, I didn't pick up on the signs right away, but I said, we need like some music. Like it's like a library in here.
Yeah.
I told him that on the way out.
And the lights.
Yes.
Usually the overheads go on more.
Yeah.
There were and that's probably why people were quiet. Like maybe we felt we had to be.
Yeah, did we miss something now? I mean, because like again, it would come up like remember the old thing came up like this film has been rated PG or this film has been rated not like one thing, and it was so weird to me.
It was.
Yeah, and I don't know.
Maybe it's a new AMC.
I mean, at least I got my nachos but that was $20 nachos.
Yeah.
So the nacho combo is $20. I mean, that is just insanity.
Should I tell people what you made me do?
What I made you? I put in jalapenos.
He sneaks in extra jalapenos.
Not extra because I know like so one time I went to get them, and they're like, well, we don't have enough. And I'm like, well, that's not my problem. Like that's your problem.
Right, yeah.
So I'm like, I'll just bring my own from now on. So I buy everything there. It's not like I'm stiffing them.
Yeah.
It's like I'm bringing in my own, like,
$20.
but yeah, it was $20 for that and the drink. I'm like, that is just really, too much.
All right. So here's the one hang up I have. So when he was in the hospital and I had this thought in my head and didn't have a mask on. And I'm like, here we go. Everybody now knows Spider-Man's Peter Parker. It's like the spell had zero effect because he's right back where he started, but now he's got the fallout of, but MJ doesn't love him anymore, and Ned doesn't really know him.
Right.
And then they showed, spoiler, they showed the Punisher wearing the mask while he's walking out unnoticed. And I'm like, well, none of them know it. And he's like, well, they don't know it. I said, the hospital staff does, the nurses, the doctors, there are people that know Peter Parker Spider-Man. Right. So they made no acknowledgement of that. Oh, we're back to square one. Nobody knows who he is. Yeah. Bullshit.
Yeah. And it's not like
the ambulance driver, all those people that, and if someone's bringing Spider-Man into the hospital, some ass is going to have their cell phone on, clicking pictures to see who it is.
Oh, yeah.
Selling that shit. So, yeah, I agree. I got a little irritated because I'm thinking they know who he is now.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Especially when you walk down the hall, people are like, hey, and clapping. That's what I expected was the staff at least to clap. Nope. Nobody acknowledged it whatsoever. Yeah.
This guy comes out of the Spider-Man room.
What I would have enjoyed, I just thought of this right now, would have been a great stinger. Punisher waits there for the people that are on duty, and he kills them as they're walking out of the hospital to maintain Peter's secret.
Yeah, it switches back like what the real Punisher would be like. Not this fantasy world Spider-Man Punisher.
Yes.
Did you know who he was? You saw him.
Yep.
Hey, did you see that guy in there? All right.
Go ahead, Peter. Take a walk. I'm going to talk to these people for a second. No, you go ahead, buddy.
I did think he's a good Punisher. I mean, I haven't watched the show at all, but again, because I'm getting kind of superhero overload. I thank God they're pumping the brakes on a little bit. Although they renewed and canceled Wonder Man. I like Wonder Man.
I saw that. That made no sense.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed that show, and
I thought they're not going to do it now.
No, they renewed it like right away. And then I just read the other day, it's canceled. The guy's up for an Emmy nomination for it. I don't know.
Yeah, that's it. I'd
And maybe
to
they
know.
do think it's going to be too much, but I'd rather watch that than another movie like this. Tell you the truth.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I think Doomsday, I want to see it because I am invested in some of the other characters that I really like now. So I do want to see Doomsday. I am a little irritated about the actor playing Dr. Doom. That does not make any sense to me. That's just stupid and ridiculous. There's millions of actors.
Yep.
You don't need him.
Right.
So I don't know if they're going to do something with that, which I just think is stupid.
I think it's
But-
an alternate Earth good guy, Dr. Doom, in a way. That's what I'm guessing.
I think it's an alternate Earth bad guy Stark.
It could be. Absolutely could be.
And these actors, and I do like that they're changing the stories a little bit, not necessarily putting new people in the same role, but changing it up because some of these actors are too old to play superheroes. And I don't want to see some of these people running around chasing the bad guy anymore.
Right.
They're
Like
too old.
Thor, you can actually, Chris Hemsworth probably has to leave at some point. Make it Beta Ray Bill. That way, it's a character who is not human, so you can get a human guy like Josh Brolin. Someone, I hope not Josh Brolin plays another role, but someone else to inhabit that role is just the voice, like Bradley Cooper did with Rocket Raccoon.
Yeah, you could do that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and Beta Ray Bill is just a different type of Thor. He took up the mantle after something happened to Thor. This was back in like the 80s in the comics. I can't remember exactly the story, but he was a cool character. I'm surprised they haven't at least shown him yet. But
Right. Yeah.
Anything else that you thought of?
About the movie, but she made a comment earlier about the bad guy in Doomsday and where do you go? You should have waited to introduce Thanos. And that's the one I'm going to watch the movie, but that's the one thing that bugs me. It's during the trailer when Thor makes the comment that we've never faced somebody. I'm like, how can you get bigger than Thanos? Like,
Yeah.
this is horseshit. Like, where are they going with this?
Well,
They just wiped off half the population,
Yeah, of the universe.
destroyed planets. But then they're going to go, oh no, this guy's worse than that. Like,
Well,
that's just
another thing I've read, and I'm sure if anybody's read it, Lance has, that he's not referring to a person. He's not referring to Dr. Doom. He's referring to the incursions
Okay.
yes.
that are wiping out the Earth. That's possible to
All right.
kind of mislead you a little bit.
Okay.
But I don't know, which is far more interesting than just
Right.
one person.
Yeah.
I'm not excited about it as I was
I'm
coming out of this
excited.
movie.
Yeah.
I'm just not.
I am.
Because Fantastic Four was terrible.
Yes.
It was not
You know?
good. I didn't
The Thunderbolts was not great either.
No,
And I wanted that.
So you're incorporating all these in there, which I didn't like in the first place. That's like we were asking me if I wanted an animal style In-N-Out burger. No, the regular one sucks. Why the hell would I want more of whatever sucks? So I don't know. I'm sure I'm going to piss a lot of people off the In-N-Out thing because people love it. I don't. I think it's overrated.
I've
It's
never
not
had it.
horrible,
I
but
wanna
it's
have
just
one.
overrated.
Yeah, I want one now.
Yeah.
That keeps talking about it.
Right.
I think you should just to see. It's average. I mean, it is. That's
I don't even remember the Thunderbolts.
it had the Sentry. Well, you know why? Because Lewis Pullman was in it, who's
Yep.
really Mr. Blank. And
He is. He's oatmeal.
He was
The
perfect
best-
for the void, though. Like that's a perfect. name for him.
Yeah, he was.
Oh, was that at the end? He's standing there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
Okay.
the Sentry / Void.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy that at all.
Yeah.
I
And
think
Sebastian Stan was in it, and I didn't like it.
I think the main issue is the fact that there was no build up to Doctor Doom because they obviously had to pivot when Jonathan Majors got fired. So they were panicking. That's why they hired Robert Downey Jr. to begin with, so that way they could have an easy bank on getting people back. But I also think that they messed up in the sense that Doctor Doom is a Fantastic Four villain. I think he should have been the main villain of the Fantastic Four movie, and I think Galactus should have been the new big bad because Doctor Doom is a villain. Don't get me wrong; he's done a lot of terrible things, but Galactus is the world devourer. And if they really wanted to do something to one up Thanos, I think Galactus would have been the better choice.
Even the name alone.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And my Doctor Doom that I remember is the kind of like the everyday guy. Not everyday, but like he's not alien and all that stuff.
Right, he's the
Doctor Doom's
normal,
not-
yeah, basically human who's in it. You're right, who's like a megalomaniac. Right. Yeah, I mean, I agree with Lance on that. I don't know why they went
They
that
don't use
way.
their villains the best at all. They just haven't.
No, but everyone does that. I mean, the Justice League tried to do that they didn't choose Darkseid, but it was Darkseid's minions. They were heading towards Darkseid.
Yeah.
I'm like, why are you starting with that? That's why I like when they did Starro. I'm like, that's cool. Like Starro it's ridiculous, but it's actually cool you went with that. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it's fan service. It's to get people in the seats. But
Mhm.
eventually that's going to dry up.
I think it is, a little bit, but I mean, they're still making money, but the money that they're spending has to be astronomical.
I would think.
Especially
Mhm.
like when you looked at the preview for Doomsday, the actors in that film alone Forget about special effects
Oh,
and
yeah.
all that other shit. Just those people. How much money goes out to those people?
Yes.
Like,
I
I
agree.
mean, even the Spider-Man. You're talking a lot of firepower even right now.
I saw a trailer. It was like a little 30-second trailer, and it was nothing but a camera panning across the back of all their chairs with all the actors' names. This actor, and like boom, 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 and it was like 15. I'm like, oh my god, who's not in this movie?
Yeah.
Just looking at the chairs.
And it's not people that make, minimum salary.
Yeah,
anymore
right.
either. This is the biggest question I have. I saw Anthony Falcon was in Doomsday. Is the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, he's in Sebastian Stan's in
Bucky,
Doomsday.
yeah, Bucky's in it.
Okay, then I'll watch it.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
I think he was in the trailer. Well, it was
I
one of
didn't
the
see
trailers.
him. I didn't see him in the
Yeah,
trailer.
he was like briefly. You did see him.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Because I thought their show was one of the best ones.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah,
What-
Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, their chemistry in that show was my favorite of them.
yeah, they've been
And
doing
I didn't think
for me
I
better on the TV shows than the movies lately.
Well, the Loki one got. I liked it.
I liked
And then
Loki
it
a lot.
it
Yeah, I
got-
did too.
At the end, it was too much.
But I think they wrapped up the whole thing. And there was no need for Kang after that either, because
Right.
you literally wrapped up all the time
Isn't
stuff.
that
So
that guy you mentioned? He's
Yeah.
going to play Kang.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Jonathan Majors.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, so the
Mhm.
perfect ending. You don't. That's why they switched to Doomsday. But again, I don't know. And Secret Wars, I know they're probably going with another one because I read the one from the '80s, which I didn't think it was great. It was okay. It was fun seeing them all together, but it didn't make for a story. But I think they're going with one they did in like the '90s or 2000s. There was another Secret War, not the sequel
Yeah.
in the '80s, but there's a whole other one. Again, I don't know.
How many Secret Wars did they have?
A lot of they're not as secret as you think. So anything else? Anything else before we wrap up?
No, I think you can tie it up with a bow.
Yeah,
Oh.
no, I think it was overall, like I said, I like the action scenes. I agree with Holly. I think the action scenes were much better directed than they were in the John Watts trilogy. That was my biggest issue
Yes,
with those. Is
I
I
agree.
felt like a lot of the action scenes were very the cuts were weird and they weren't edited as clearly as you would want. And that's my biggest thing I can say. That they did well in this movie. You can clearly tell it was the Shang-Chi director because a lot of the scenes reminded me of Shang-Chi.
Yes, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that, but yeah, definitely.
But aside from that, I think story-wise, it was very lacking. And like you said, it felt like not so much like a Spider-Man movie. It felt like Spider-Man's here, but there's 15 other characters. And I just, I know they're going to make another one. This one already made like almost $1 billion in 3 days. So I hope going forward, they get a better footing on that.
Yeah, I think they need a real traditional Spider-Man movie.
Yes.
Because they have the cast for it that will carry it.
So we always go to rewatchability. So there's 3 different choices. One, you just kind of turn it off when you see it's on TV. Another one is, you kind of catch a glance and maybe scroll your phone. And 3, it's definitely rewatchable if it's on TV. So Lance, which version of rewatchable is it for you?
I would give it a 2. I don't think I would, if it's on, I'm not going to be like, oh, anytime it's on, I got to put it on. But it's also not like I'm skipping past any time like, oh, I can't watch that. Like if it's a Sunday afternoon and I don't really have anything else going on, I see it on. Yeah, it's going on.
Okay.
Yeah,
Jason.
what he said. Absolutely. It's not like Jaws level or if it's on, I got to watch it, but it's not something I'm going to avoid either. If it's on, okay, I'll watch it.
I actually would like to see it again, just to catch some other things that you all mentioned, especially some of this stuff I don't know. But I actually liked the movie, other than it being long. Like I enjoyed it. I thought the action was great. I thought the acting was phenomenal. I thought it was touching and it was romantic and it was sweet and enjoyed the action. So I would definitely watch it again.
Yeah, I mean, I liked all the stuff you just said. I liked the interactions between him and I think the more like the Peter Parker stuff.
I love
And
it.
throughout the whole film, the Spider-Man stuff at the very beginning, but then again, once the shifted focus to other characters, I literally just did not care. So I'd probably maybe leave it on for a few minutes, but I wouldn't. It's not like the other ones. Like of the 4 so far, No Way Home is the one I'd watch the most.
Yeah.
And then the other 2 are about even. No Way Home is the one with all the Spider-Man.
Oh, that was cool.
Yeah, I mean, I like that
I
because it
like
was
the
fun.
one with what's his face is the bad guy.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yes.
Mysterio, yeah,
Yeah.
which was a great choice.
Yeah.
That, I like
You know,
that
for a
one.
villain, because
Yeah.
nobody knew who the hell Mysterio really is. I mean,
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
That's who you want. You want some not obscure, but he was a major villain in Spider-Man comics
Mhm.
early. So yeah, pick some of those. Well, I guess they had the Lizard already, but like along those lines, you pick someone who's just not well known.
Right.
You have a better chance of developing a character at that point.
Right.
You don't associate him with anybody.
And I think that was Sam Raimi's greatest strength is he, picked the Green Goblin and Dr. Octopus, who weren't, necessarily super big at the time, but he loved them because he read those characters growing up and he incorporated them very well.
I love the one with Dr. Ock. Doc Ock was one of my favorites growing up.
Yeah, which is why I love seeing him again in No Way
Mhm.
Home.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I do too.
All right. So, well, thanks everyone for being here. Hopefully, I know Holly will be back. She has no choice sometimes. But if you guys want to
Yeah,
come back,
happily.
pick a movie. I know, Lance, we still want to do
Yep, I'm gonna
Sorcerer.
watch. Yep.
And I was talking the other night, we'll talk more about the airport movies,
Yes.
which I would love to do. Talking to my friend about it too, so maybe get him on it.
Sounds good.
So, all right. Well, thanks everybody.
Thanks, Sean.
Yeah. Thank you, Sean.
You're welcome.
That wraps up another episode. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and download new episodes every Saturday on your favorite podcast platform. For Scenes from the Screen, I'm Sean, and thanks for listening.